Ready, Vatos?
Yeah.
Let's do it, I say.
All right, Saturday night, they're down in South America at Buenos Aires, Argentina. That's right, we got UFC Fight Night 140 with a main event of Santiago Ponzinibbio versus Neil Magny. Ponzinibbio is the favorite at -320. Neil Magny comes back at about +280. Cannot wait for this fight. Dan, Tom, what do you see going down?
You know, I see kind of what the odds makers are seeing. You know, I agree that Ponzinibbio probably should be favored in this spot, but I will say Magny is super live. You know, he may not have had the quote-unquote full camp, but he's never needed a full camp before. If you recall, Magny took a short notice 5-round main event against Kelvin Gastelum in Mexico at altitude and was actually able to, you know, put enough of a work rate to earn a decision and even out-wrestle the wrestler at certain points. So I think if this fight goes long, or if Ponzinibbio gets stuck in the clinch, I think Magny's going to have a lot of surprises there. We saw him nullify Carlos Condit there as well. And it'll get tricky because Magny has that cardio where he's always training at elevation. He's always staying ready. But I'm going with Ponzinibbio because of pressure. I think Magny tends to kind of hang out by the edge of the cage. He can get in trouble there. We've seen it with Lombard, even though he went on to win that fight. And we've seen it with Dos Anjos. I think Ponzinibbio at his best, guys. He's pressuring. He's moving forward. Sure, he showed his ability to counter against Mike Perry, and he did that as necessary, and it got him the win. But I think he does his best pressuring, and I think pressuring him wins this fight. I'll go Ponzinibbio inside the distance, but I don't know if I'm as confident as the line it says.
I just hope that crowd is 1% of what they can be in a soccer stadium in Buenos Aires, Argentina. It's going to be an amazing atmosphere, but we'll see. I don't know how Argentinian MMA fans are, but it is a quality main event. You know, Ponzinibbio, if you look back, he's only had the 3 losses, but one that stood out to me was Ryan LaFleur. A wrestler, a grinder, which Neil Magny can be in his wins. But since then, he's also fought like the McGee's and Zach Cummings and even Gunnar Nelson. You know, maybe not Gunnar Nelson being a wrestler like the others, but still having a strong game, and he's been able to vanquish those foes. So I think Ponzinibbio is just kind of, I guess, riding a high, whereas Magny's kind of maintained a high level, but maybe peaked. I don't know. I think Ponzinibbio is going to rise to the occasion here, and I'm going with Ponzinibbio. And more than likely, I see a finish in this fight just a little bit later, not early on. How about you guys?
Hey, give me the pawns in this one. I'll tell you why. It's going to come down to those little intangibles. Dan Tom's right, that pressure. The guy's on a roll. He's at home. It's all these little things that I think is going to put him over in this fight. But how many times has Neil Magny been that spoiler and surprised everyone? I wouldn't be shocked, but I feel comfortable taking the pawns.
Yeah, me too. I'm taking the pawns, except I'm not betting the pawns. You heard it, -320 and +280. Who knows? Maybe you sprinkle on the dog just a little bit, but I definitely will watch it, and I think Ponzinibbio definitely will be the winner. And there you have it. There's our UFC 140 breakdown of the main event this Saturday in Buenos Aires, Argentina. Keep it locked on MMA Junkie. You know we got you covered.